Willkommen to Demagogue News.
Well, hello, what I go, babe?
Welcome to today talk about Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, Greta Thunberg, Greta Thunberg, and CNN.
And good Hergen, they're going to discuss it, coronavirus.
I just got to bring up that Anderson Cooper. Prescribe see
Her. Knock it down a dirt.
Look at California.
Gretchen Whitmerberger.
Okay, good to bring up Michigan.
Okay.
I'm Steve.
I'm Tom.
And this is Demagogue News with things you need to know about, episode 25. The wonderful story of Greta Thunberg, California and Hawaii, how to fuck up a coronavirus, and what?
And how to waste $3 trillion.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
It's
what
been,
a day.
Yeah, it has been quite a day. It's been quite a week, actually.
It's been a real ringer.
Yeah, I mean, I've been helping to unload a warehouse of a small business that's had to close thanks to the lockdown. So
yeah,
it's really fun.
Tom's a disgusting essential employee. He's working.
Yeah, I'm getting a taste of it, and I can definitely see why people don't want to work. They just want to collect money.
Yeah, well, warehouse. I've done that warehouse stuff before. It's not the greatest.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely I would choose to do it again just because like it's kind of fulfilling to.
No,
like,
working. I actually envy you that you're working. I'm losing track of time and consciousness. I'm kind of drifting to the void right now.
It's a part-time gig. I'll be like right there with you, like pretty.
We had a couple
soon.
days. Oh.
Well, like tomorrow, I think is the last day. Finally cleared it out after arduous labor. But that being said, despite all of my efforts and hard work, I have not gotten as far in life as Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg.
So we just got done listening to the CNN panel of experts, and by panel of experts, we only listen to one expert.
Well, I listened to
Okay, Steve, listen.
for like 10 minutes prior. CNN had a special coronavirus facts and fears, special town hall. I don't know why they call it a town hall. They're not running for any type of election, but whatever. And among their esteemed people, they had a guy, I don't remember his name. He was the former director of the CDC.
Yeah, it's
Smart dude. They had a person, governor of somebody, but she has medical knowledge.
Oh, former governor of Kansas. I
Yes.
can't remember her name, but yeah.
Such with an S. Seemed to be a very smart woman. Great. They had another doctor there, and I'm like, okay, these are people that you would have to talk about the coronavirus. That isn't strange. And Anderson Cooper was talking about all this and that, and it got a little political, laugh at Trump, blah, 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 blah. Par for the course.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
fine.
standard.
It's pretty standard. You know, talk shit about this. Is everything going right? Apparently, the world's falling apart. Nothing's going great. It's the end of the world. And, okay, whatever. I don't really care. And then their next guest was Greta Thunberg.
So if you haven't listened to episode 2 of Demagogue News, things you need to know about, Greta Thunberg is an autistic Swedish teen who I think she has
Who is the
Asperger's,
bastion of civil rights. I think it's Asperger's, too. I don't think
Yeah,
it's
I think it's Asperger's.
She's on the spectrum.
Yeah, regardless. Yeah, in her, if you've been living under a rock like Patrick Starr, climate change is her thing.
Yeah, and, I mean, I'm about to say, 2 years ago, she was all the rage. How dare you? You know, we don't got to remind you. You know who Greta is.
Greta.
Greta.
They
Yes.
kept saying her name, like enunciating.
In the most Swedish, Greta Thunberg. Yes,
Thank you, Greta.
that would be so like. If I'm on this national news network. They know who the fuck I am, and then you're gonna say that like, I wouldn't like that.
Nah.
If I had a specific ethnic name that's ethnic to my nationality, and you said it in the accent in which I'm familiar hearing it, that's obviously different. And like highlighting that it's different, like that's like fuck. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's weird.
What are you
Like,
doing?
If I got interviewed on like a Spanish-speaking network and they called me Tomas, I would say thank you, but I prefer Poppy.
Big Papi, all right.
Hey.
Hey.
But yeah, regardless, it sounded like weird and pretentious, but that's
And that's just the beginning in the first 12 seconds.
oh man.
They had a 17-year-old climate change wizard
yeah, like
to talk about the coronavirus, and they said nothing. You know, I honestly I did expect something stupid to happen, but they didn't talk about anything. If
Yeah.
anything, they were just checking up on how this girl was doing in Stockholm.
Yeah, I mean, it was like her version of brunch bang. She was in a bathrobe in her house.
Yeah,
So-
in her house with a shitty webcam. I mean, she has all this money. Why does she have a shitty laptop webcam?
No, she doesn't. She donated $100,000 to UNICEF.
Yeah, she did. I'm sure that, you know, she's broke. Yes, with her rich parents that
Yeah, her
lot her.
opera singer mother and like, I want to say her dad's an actor.
Yeah, they got cash,
Yeah, they definitely
and
have
they
money.
just, you know, they're child abuse. I'm just child abuse. they're-
Actually, I think she abuses them. Like, she's the one who got her mom to stop flying. Like, I'm pretty sure she's the one who's like pulling the strings here. You
Yeah,
know?
didn't she take like a month trip on a boat to get
Yeah.
here?
It was like 3 weeks to get across the Atlantic.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
hilarious.
So no, I think Sweden's one of those super progressive countries. I think that they like applaud the fact that the parents just kind of kneeled down to their daughter.
Right, this nouveau parenting, you know, let the child just
Yeah.
run amok.
Which I'm talking this smack on Sweden. I am actually a big fan of Sweden's like lockdown procedure, considering it's very lax, and they didn't talk about that at all.
Which I would expect would be the one thing that she would actually have any type of knowledge on is her own country's, you know, lockdown as it is.
yeah,
But no, they just asked how she was doing and like, oh, it's fine, can't complain. Highlight people that are suffering. Actually, although it was stupid to have her on the panel, she was totally on subject and talked about exactly what she talks about, helping people, environment, children. I'm like, okay, well, that's
it's the
nothing's
same,
wrong with
same
that.
few points over
Yeah,
and over again.
nothing's wrong with that. But I just don't know why she was being highlighted there.
Yeah.
Like,
Also,
what the fuck are you doing?
it's kind of funny they were talking about how this affects children in like the third world. You know what's affecting them right now? The fact that the first world economies are locked down, so they're not purchasing goods from these third world economies.
Yeah, a
and-
lot of T-shirts come from Vietnam.
Exactly.
Now no
So-
one sells dick. How is Vietnam doing?
So we're putting their parents out of work. Like, how is
And
that
so
helping
the parents
them?
don't feed their children. Bada bing, bada boom, no food.
Yeah, they didn't talk about that. 'Cause
No.
that's bad. Lockdown, good.
Capitalism bad.
Reopen, bad. Market
Bad.
economy, bad. Even though this is CNN and we take the money from people, to have commercials in this,
Right, to
completely
pay for the
consensual
network.
transaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
market's bad.
Bad market bad.
Market
Big.
bad.
Market big. That might be a new thing on this show.
Oh, hell yeah. I could dig it.
Swedish newscast.
Oh, man.
Swedish newscast.
Greta, but
Great Dugberg.
yeah, Greta was just saying, "Oh, we need to listen to the scientist." Now I'm making her sound like she did not sound like that. To be fair,
No, but that's how she speaks. You know, I listen to the scientists. Yes, so she also sounded like she had a wicked bad stutter, and I count that too. That she didn't rehearse well enough for this little thing that she had.
well, yeah, it was unscripted.
Yeah, and she's not very good. She's like Obama with that, like Joe Biden. Joe
Yeah,
Biden.
more like Joe Biden.
Yeah, unscripted. Ooh man, that's
yeah,
rough.
That is rough.
That's rough goings.
And speaking of like listen to this, like it's like they talk about science as if it's this objective thing, as if scientists aren't actually people. Like they aren't people like the rest of us who have their
No.
own self-interests.
It's secular versus the sacred. The secular is their sacred.
It
So
is.
the priests of the secular religion are blameless.
Isn't it funny how things come full circle?
Full fucking circle.
Man.
Yeah, scientists don't want grant money. They don't want to achieve in their personal and academic careers. They don't want. Maybe they're just a fucking asshole who's good at biology, but they're just a prick. That's totally a thing. They're people. They're humans, flesh and blood.
They are, and it's like funny that they're kind of being put up on this pedestal. Like, real quick, I'd just like to go into the fact that like Dr. Fauci, he's in lockdown, like
Yeah,
self
quarantine. He's exposed to somebody who's confirmed to the Rona.
Yeah, so he's chilling in his crib. It looks like he has a very nice home office.
Full of shit, as most doctors
Yeah.
have. There's tons of crap everywhere.
But yeah, he's a busy guy.
Busy guy.
So he's talking to the Senate. The pretty loaded questions, actually. So Senator Tim Kaine, if you don't remember, he was Hillary Clinton's running mate back in the
Hey.
2016 election. So Senator from Virginia asks Fauci questions like, could the U.S. do better? Which is pretty loaded. I mean, of course you could always do better.
Yeah, miracle could have got Jesus could have came down and smooched Trump right on the forehead and said, "You're doing great."
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been better.
So that's, that like there was that question, and then he said, is the death toll unacceptable? Another like really loaded question. It's like you could keep like beating the drum, like yeah, like every death, like
Every life matters.
yeah,
Yes.
every life and this stuff. But hey, it's about like managing risk. It's like we were well past prevention.
Right.
So
Now we're controlling how big the number's going to get, but the number's going to be there and it's going to grow.
yeah. And that being said, like it's like Tim Kaine. You know, obviously he's a Democrat, so the whole thing is to make Trump look bad during this. But if you take out New York City from the U.S. numbers, we're close to the top. And if you include like New York, we're in the middle of the pack, like as far as death toll compared to population.
Yeah.
So really not
Well,
bad.
per capita statistics are racist
Oh yeah, here
and
we go.
sexist. So you can't use per capita to make it even. America's the worst country in the world, Tom.
Always and forever, I guess.
Always and forever.
And it's funny about statistics too, because New York City, for them counting coronavirus deaths, here's what they use, and this is why you should always double check your statistics. It's actually they just compared the death toll, like the deaths in New York City this year compared to last year, and every death above last year's total is just like they're just chalking up to coronavirus.
and it's not news. I've been going over the last couple of weeks at all these hospitals. A conspiracy is a collection of people doing something that's, of malintent. But just because it's a conspiracy doesn't mean it's true and it's happening. The conspiracy is that the federal government is giving money, extra federal funding to hospitals that are more adversely affected by the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. This shit's going down. You, fucking UMC hospital, you're doing real rough. Maybe you need some extra influx of cash. So all these hospital administrators and board people realize, ooh, money, blood in the water? Perfect. It's all burning down.
Yeah,
it's
everything is COVID.
everything
like, every
is
single
corona.
death.
Every single death. Fucking, it's the end of the world. Corona's taking over our hospital. So anybody that comes in that has a heart attack, which happens every single fucking day. Anybody that comes in that has a
Pneumonia
stroke,
is in there.
pneumonia, anyone that has anything, if by chance they also test positive for the coronavirus, well, shucks. The darn Rona got him again.
Yeah, and then you don't chalk up like what really pushed them over the edge.
So statistics of heart disease are going down right now because every single death from, the end of February to now has been Rona everywhere. Because every single death, the hospital gets a chunk of change.
yeah,
So suddenly people dropping like flies. When in actuality, the fact that every other disease ever is still happening at the same rate,
like the
on
seasonal
average,
flu is still out there.
right.
AIDS is still out there.
So anyone who ever dies from anything that normally people die of every single day, if it's illness, because if you get a car accident, the Rona didn't get you.
Yeah.
But if it's an illness, it's the Corona. So now, where's the validity of our numbers?
I mean, it's the same argument with the
Who watched
scientists.
those
Like,
Watchmen?
it's nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody watches the Watchmen.
Yeah, but we're burning money like it's going out
Yeah,
of style,
we are.
Tom.
Oh man, that is an excellent segue into the bill proposed by House Democrats.
House Stimulus Part 2.
Oh man, they want to make it rain so bad. It's actually like kind of ridiculous some of these numbers that they want to put out.
Let's put a reminder. The first stimulus package cost $2 trillion, which is about half the cost of the entire U.S. cost of World War II adjusted for inflation.
Yep.
So we spent that. That was beginning of March, right?
I want to say no, it was in April.
April?
When we got our stimulus checks.
So it was past like the end of March then.
Yeah.
So inside of a month, we spent $2 trillion.
Which is ridiculous.
World War II started. We started spending in the end of the 30s. Started spending money, Lend-Lease programs to Britain. So that took 6 years, 39 to 45. We spent $4 trillion adjusted for inflation in 6 years. We spent 2 in a month, and we want to spend another 3 in the next month. That'll be more than the entire cost of World War II.
I mean, we're on the Venezuela track. Money doesn't matter.
Just spend it. No, we're on the Zimbabwe track.
Oh, yeah,
Start
yeah.
adding zeros. Fuck it. But spend it, baby. Let's go.
Everyone will be millionaires.
You get $1 million. You get it. Everybody gets $1 million.
So some of these statistics here, this depresses the shit out of me. So a lot of it is going to to states and local governments, which on the surface sounds good, but it's really to bail out states that had a deficit prior to all of this, like California, New York.
Yeah, places that were cities and states that are really in debt, just on average.
Yeah, and
Too much pension money,
yes,
miscalculated
pensions,
spending,
shit union contracts. And, that being said, Senator Rick Scott of Florida, former governor of Florida, said, "Hey, listen, I think it's bullshit because he balanced the budget, like the Florida's budget as governor, saying,
net zero.
Yeah." So he's just like, a lot of people moved to my state from these states to not have to pay this, and like now you're just gonna punish us all, like
everyone equally.
Yeah, everybody gets punished for like some bad spending in certain states. Like you and I, like we choose not to live in California, therefore I don't think we should bail out California.
The national debt is like 25 trillion, right?
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
So we just spent 2, so we just added 10% on top of it, and then we're gonna add another 10% on top of that. Yeah. 11%. There'll be 11% extra we're gonna spend in a month from the decades of growing this national debt. And we're just it's like throwing those chips, black chips, and tossing them.
We could still afford to do that, in quotation marks, because we've had a good economy. But right now, a lot of people aren't working. And that gets us into our next little stimulus thing. So it could be, it's going to be $1,200 per person and per dependent. So you can get a maximum grand total
$6,000 per family.
Ridiculous.
What the fuck is that?
And on top of that, they also want to push these benefits all the way to January of 2021.
Including the Paycheck Protection Program, which adds the CARES Act. It's the CARES Act that adds $600 to unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
They want to push that to January, December. So every person basically is getting a $9,000 boost to anything if they're not working.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Start investing in the euro.
Something else, dude. Yen.
Yeah. Forex, foreign exchange.
Get into cryptos. Now is a good time to get into crypto.
No, because crypto's based on fiat.
Oh, you're right.
Because it's normally based on USD for crypto. We got to just change over to a different currency. Got to start investing in the yuan or fucking dinars.
Man. Okay.
Saudi Arabian dinars.
Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
Yeah. Start investing in Saudi Arabian dinars.
Screw it.
Maybe not the pound. The UK's not doing great either.
No, definitely not the pound.
Invest in Venezuelan bolivars.
No, thank you.
Let's go.
I appreciate the offer.
Peso, something. Because the more money means the less that it's worth.
Yeah, and they're just going to start printing it. And, this strategy, obviously, we tend to get into tinfoil hat territory on this podcast. But, I don't know, it's just like it's getting people hooked on this government money and then...
just sucking the tit.
Yeah, and then you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you because, like, now you're going to get complacent. You'll be like, oh, well, why should I go back to work? And there's a lot of people in Congress, like AOC, for instance, who are advocating for you not to go back to work.
So what the fuck are we just going to jerk off at our houses all day and do nothing?
Yes.
So fuck.
You can make more money jacking off than being an essential worker.
I make more money doing nothing than an essential worker right now, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Luckily, the only shining grace on this act is that they're going to push a $250 billion stimulus to essential workers as hazard pay.
Which they do deserve that money.
Which I think I'm surprised wasn't pushed in the beginning.
Because they're like making less than us by working. Which was ridiculous.
Someone working at Albertsons, on the high end, they're making $13 an hour at the most.
If you're lucky, dude. Like
$13 an hour at the most is $3,000 gross. And let's say you live in California, you lose 35% of your tax money. So Jesus, come on.
Yeah, that's and literally like Steve just said about the $200 billion. That's the only one that I would kind of agree with. Because next up we have $25 billion towards the United States Postal Service.
The fucking USPS, the post office, is the biggest fucking sham. It's been shit since like the 80s.
Yeah, it's really terrible. It's bloated, and they're actually losing more money now. They were losing money before the pandemic. Now they're losing more money because the money that they charge to ship stuff doesn't actually cover the cost to ship it.
Yeah, no, I think they lose $50 billion a year.
Usually,
I think it costs $50 billion a year to the taxpayer every year for the post office.
it's a black hole.
Now, the post office is one of the few jobs that's actually, or types of organizations actually listed by the Constitution, that there shall be post.
Yeah.
There shall be mail deliverance by the government.
Mhm.
So it's required. But in the last 35 years, with the advent of Federal Express, FedEx, UPS, all these other delivery
Like Amazon,
manufacturers.
like
Well, Amazon's actually a big problem with the USPS because they're making so much more mail to be produced, so much
Oh,
more
really?
shit is shipped. But the post office, our post office, has subsidized themselves through USPS because, funny, private enterprise is more efficient and it's more cost efficient to just give the mail to UPS or give it to FedEx than to do it themselves, because FedEx and UPS aren't required to work every fucking day.
yeah.
Rain, sleet, shine, or snow, they're more efficient to do those. So the post office actually, pays them to do it easier for them, which ironically they do better. Because hey, UPS, if they didn't make any money, they'd be out of business.
Yeah.
FedEx, if they didn't make any fucking money, they'd be out of business.
They've got skin in the game.
They're not required to be open forever. But USPS is our post office. But with government unions and pensions,
Oh yeah, their pension plan too.
it's hilarious. Boycott USPS. It's the worst government, because literally private enterprise. How many Amazon drivers, gig employees that just run Amazon packages are making money using either an Amazon Prime van or their own vehicle to deliver packages?
I mean, there's a lot of them.
How efficient can that
yeah.
be? You literally have somebody, they get paid by the package, so that's put into the cost of shipping, whether it's through Amazon or through other sources, and they hand deliver it. Now, is it the most clean thing? Not uniforms or, a centralized warehouse of people that are all working together, but it works.
Yeah, they
So-
cut out a lot of the bullshit.
Cut out all the bullshit. But no, we gotta have a government post agency that's useless, and we're gonna bail them out, which is really only for a year. $25
Yeah.
billion, that's paying for half a year of USPS. That's just basically a joke.
It is, but it's their scraps that they get. Like everybody wants a piece. It's pork, and
This piece of this delicious pie that we're just
yeah,
it was just blown with a blowtorch.
just make a whole bunch of the pie, even if it tastes bad. Everybody gets some. I'm just gonna combine these two. So infrastructure and mass transit systems get a combined $31 billion because
Oh, so we're gonna do some New Deal type shit, huh?
yeah, exactly. We're gonna
Start
put
building
people
bridges.
to work,
Yeah.
building bridges, and then mass transit is to cover the costs that they're not making by people not using mass transit systems.
Is that include
Well,
airplanes or just
no, it
purely?
doesn't. It like subways, buses, like that, things of that nature. But they're not even. They've cut a lot of staff and they've cut a lot of hours.
Yeah, because no one's using it in the first place.
Yeah.
Man, this is just so strange. It makes sense. Like in 2008, with these government bailouts, no one could buy a car, and our car industry is just like our airplane industry is fundamental to our economy. Selling cars, car manufacture, our car export. I mean, we're selling cars. That's one of our big exports, cars.
Yeah.
So we gotta make sure that government, General Motors, government car manufacturer, doesn't go out of business. Okay, that makes sense. And it makes sense that we shouldn't have Southwest or American Airlines go out of business. But if Greyhound goes out of business, okay, someone else will make a Greyhound then. Because, hey, there'll be a vacuum in the economy, and somebody will be like, fuck, I'm going to make my own bus transit system that uses the same fucking Greyhound stations and do that.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I disagreed with the bailouts in 2008. I think they all should have gone under, personally, because most of them actually did. Like being from Ohio, like places like Dayton and Lordstown, they still lost their plants despite getting government money. It's like giving somebody money to keep doing the wrong shit, keep giving bloated contracts.
And that was, in the hindsight, the terrible thing is that they got this money and then they just blew it.
It is. So, but in this situation, this is very different because the government mandated that, that people close down.
Yeah, it wasn't that somebody did do a crime, and we know who it is. It's China, but we can't sue them yet. But before, somebody fucked up for a long time and made it and put this onto all of us.
Yeah.
This time around, it's on the
Yeah.
surface.
So this
no
time,
one's fault.
I would agree with floating the money to keep them open, but we can't stay locked down forever. Like you can't keep giving General Motors money to not make cars.
or to make cars that nobody buys.
Yeah.
That sounds Soviet Union as fuck right there.
It's just
make them work so they're doing something.
It's a command economy, and if anybody's read World History, episode 4,
Episode
cannot stress
4.
that enough. Command economies just never work because they kind of throw reality out the window. Moving on, and again, another thing with like that's an industry that's not using the money that's going to be getting. Schools and universities, their staff right now is not working. Their facilities are not in use.
You know what would be like the most awesome PR thing in the fucking world? If all the Ivy League schools,
Mm-hmm.
do you know how big Harvard's alumni endowment is?
How?
$40 billion.
Holy Christ.
Harvard has $40 billion in cash as their endowment from all the years of anybody who went to Harvard, kicked ass, and then sent money back to the place that made them who they are. Great. You know what would be fucking smart? And that would be the hella PR. All the big Ivy League schools with the hella endowments make their own education fund to help other universities.
Yeah, they won't do
They
that.
got the money to spend, but
Okay, they tote these ideals of like egalitarianism, but they don't actually like it's virtue signaling. They're not actually going to put it into practice. It's still my money.
it's literally not their money though.
It's their money.
It's my money.
They got their
I
like
could
grubby
make a
little
brick of
mitts.
money.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're not, they're not really like they don't actually believe that. They don't give a fuck about like state schools.
That would be. It's disappointing. Like we have to bail out education. I'm sorry. We have to bail out. The government has to bail out itself at this point.
Yeah.
Because
What'd you do with all that loan money, Holmes?
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. The loan money that you gave to yourself.
Yeah.
Your state school, you made money to give to yourself and then made a person have to work and do this loan and create new wealth to give it back to the government to pay for itself. What the fuck?
Indentured servitude, baby.
Now I'm on the boycott student loans train now. What the fuck?
Burn it to the ground.
Private schools, they made some cash, but all these state schools are federally funded to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that is garbage that they just want more money.
To do what with?
Pay.
No one's there.
They want to pay administrators still. They
Administrator.
Wanna, like,
It comes back down to that.
Yeah.
The failure of the higher education system is administration.
it is
Yeah.
legit.
Back in the day, the teachers ran the joint. Well, that makes sense. It's a place of education. Whoever is the educator runs a place of education. Now it's people that. What the fuck do they do? What does this administrator do? Administrate what?
Administrate, dude.
Yeah, it's a fuck administrate.
Administrator.
Yay!
Like,
Fuck.
I'm just gonna top off this list because I'm getting increasingly depressed reading it.
Or angry.
Yeah, both actually. It's a lot of like mixed emotions here in the recording room. $1 billion to drumroll, please. Health care inequities data. Inequities.
What the fuck does that mean?
It means okay. Let's like rewind a little bit. Do you remember like one of the press conferences? Somebody asked a question like, "How come like African Americans are dying?"
Oh, it's fucking diversity data.
Yes, $1 billion. They're getting $1 billion
Jesus Christ.
to not help anyone.
No, that's not gonna help anybody. Oh my god. Boogaloo when? God damn it! Like what the fuck? $1 billion to do research? That's what it's saying.
To
Just
do research on inequities in the healthcare system. Like yeah, that's that I can't.
Well,
say
men
anything.
aren't represented in the healthcare system
Yeah.
per capita. Their job of doctor doesn't know
Sexists.
nurses. Very little. Oh my god.
I mean, I could just tell them right now, like, hey, listen, people who are minorities usually end up being, unless they're Asian, like in lower income brackets, usually have underlying health care issues.
And statistically don't have the greatest education in comparison to everything else.
Yeah. So why don't you put that money into like education? Maybe that could solve it.
Maybe
$100 billion into schools and universities.
Right. What the fuck?
So I am. But you're talking about the Boogaloo because that's happening over in Hawaii or Hawaii.
Yeah,
Is that how you say
let's
it?
do something else over here. Hawaii, very democratic state. It's been I don't think it's ever voted Republican ever. Maybe maybe back in the 40s,
Maybe
in the 50s when it was
yeah.
first created. But it's been very democratic for a long time. One of my friends, Kainoa, good guy, love the dude. He's when he was in Hawaii. He was part of the political campaigns of the Republicans
Really
that
Oh,
ran,
wow.
and They never got much traction. So it's been very liberal, very progressive in Hawaii. But Hawaii, it's Hawaii time.
Yeah,
It's chill. Nothing.
Aloha,
You
yeah,
know,
just
things
kick
are
it.
expensive, and but like it's chill. Very it ain't California. It ain't these crazy. It's chill. Well, Hawaii has turned into full-on martial law. Not in like the lockdown.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
no,
not
no,
making that up.
no. If you break quarantine, you shall be arrested. On multiple occasions, and it's been mainly with tourism that they've left their homes or their places that they're staying at, and after being warned that they're not allowed to leave their homes, you cannot leave your house, your place that you're staying, and if you do, you will be arrested. Story of a 60-year-old man that was jet skiing in the ocean. Literally, you can't get more, social distance. You were on your own vehicle in the middle of the fucking ocean, and he was arrested. A couple that was honeymooning in Waikiki went to Costco. Disgusting. I can't believe they went to
You
Costco.
piece of
What
human
the
filth.
fuck? And the hotel staff is now the Gestapo. Well, no, the police are Gestapo. They are they're like the Red Guard in China that are now
Yeah,
just
terrible.
they're ratting on anybody and snitching.
Yep.
So they told the local police that these people left to go to Costco. So when they came back, the police were waiting for them and arrested them. So
So the police had to get within 6 feet of them to arrest them, right?
disgusting.
Man, were these police officers
Maybe
wearing
they
masks?
just threw the handcuffs at them and said, hey,
Yeah.
handcuff yourself.
And
then
here's some
come here.
masks too. Put
Yeah,
those on before
put
you
those
handcuff
on,
yourself.
or we'll shoot you.
Yeah, this gun has a range of over 6 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, when did we turn the United States of snitches? Like, what the fuck, yo?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and in St. Louis, they were actually paying. I think in California, did they do this as well? They were paying people to snitch on businesses.
yeah, in California, New York too. So, but,
Yeah,
but
so-
going to St. Louis because this is a good story.
Yeah, in St. Louis, they instated this system to get people to tell the authorities if anybody was breaking the stay-at-home orders concerning businesses, because these businesses had to shut down, they're not essential, blah 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 blah. You know what's going on. Well, a radio guy in St. Louis decided to see if he could find that information of who was reporting, and part of the Freedom of Information Act and some local laws in St. Louis, Missouri, where he was allowed to pull up 900 people with their names and emails of who told the police about XYZ businesses. And you can find this as all public. It's now in the public domain. It's a public right to view this information. People getting fucked.
Good.
Snitches getting fucking stitches.
That's what you deserve for snitching.
And some of these are hilarious. I read a bunch of them. Some of them are hilarious. I know here in Vegas, I've seen a lot of landscaping.
Like snitches on landscaping?
No, just people doing landscaping.
Oh yeah,
They're still working.
Yeah.
They're outside. They're doing
they're
stuff.
essential.
That was rife with that. I see somebody doing this. Uber drivers, people snitching on their own business, and then in the email says, "Make sure this is anonymous. This is my own business. We shouldn't be open."
Oh man,
Fucked. So, motherfuckers.
weird what people will like. How brave people get when there's anonymity.
Anonymity, man. They'll say some fucked up shit.
Yeah, well, now it's coming back
because there's supposed to be no consequence. It's supposed to be perfectly, hidden and unknown.
Better lace up and clean up that desk, homeboy. You're out of here.
Right? Fuck. In California, I don't know if California was doing it specifically. They're paying
I
people.
don't remember. California's just weird anyway. So for their I think on one of our previous episodes, I talked about how there were like helicopters, like sounding off sirens if people were like on the beach. So California's reopened beaches, but you can't sunbathe. You can't bring coolers. You can't bring umbrellas.
You must wear your mask at the beach.
Yeah,
the sandy beach with it's windy and full of yeah.
But you have to. You can take it off when you're swimming. I don't know what you're gonna do with it, but you can take it off. So pretty much you just have to when you get out of your car in the parking lot, just
sprint as fast as you
either
can.
sprint or hear me out, just so you don't risk stopping. Maybe you're enjoying the scenery. Rip a hole in the space-time continuum, go through it, and then come out the other end.
directly into the water.
The only way. You got to play it safe.
Gotta play it safe. Gotta break the laws of physics if you want to get your vitamin D in.
If you wanna abide by California laws, you have to defy reality.
which they're doing anyways by defying their belief and everything that they hold dear in California. And also, what happens if somebody dies in the county?
Oh, yeah. The reopening strategy. This is funny as hell, too. So California's reopening on a county-by-county basis.
Okay.
And, if you've had...
Obviously, LA is going to be slower than, Montecito.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you've had a COVID death, which we noted before, hospitals are doing it all the time, then you have to restart the process. The 14 days has to start over again for you to move on to the next phase, which is... frankly impossible.
So, but if by chance, by the stroke of God's pen, that they reopen, the next day, boom, somebody died. Nope,
Yeah,
everyone shut it down. Shut it down.
Sorry.
That's hilarious. Tesla's leaving. Joe Rogan might be leaving California.
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be it's biblical. It's the Exodus.
Dude,
the Exodus
Cal
of the
Exodus.
Hebrews.
Now you can
Cal
all.
Exodus.
Here's your hell, live it.
Right.
Like you've made
the
it.
valley of the shadow of death, and you fear evil. His name is Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, dude. He's literally Lucifer. No, I'm just kidding.
He's literally terrible.
He's the worst governor
ever.
in the United States. Man, yeah, he's but it is kind of funny how like once you get like a one-party state, like it just goes to shit.
Yeah.
There's no opposition.
And ironically, I just thought about this. So if people realize like, oh, this is terrible, we got to vote differently. Well, anyone who wants to vote differently just left the state.
Yeah.
They all moved to Texas.
Yeah. Joe Rogan's talking about moving to Texas.
Texas, Vegas. Hey, maybe all the good Republicans in California moved to Nevada and we can flip red.
Yeah, no, because they have money. Because they've been conserving their wealth.
Well, that's good. Republican, less taxes. That's good. That's what they want. No state income tax. Literally, come on.
Yeah, come on over.
We're a boon to anybody with cash. You don't lose 18% of your income like you do, or whatever the state taxes in California is.
Come to Nevada. You can keep your money.
Tesla, come to Nevada, please.
Yeah, Elon, please. I know that Gavin.
Dude, Joe, the UFC training center is here. You could be next to the UFC. It'd be fantastic. Don't worry about it. We'll love you. Joe, come to Vegas. Joe would go to like the Reno though, because they got elk hunting in Reno.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
he's
you
an
go to Reno.
outdoorsy guy. Whatever, he's still in our state.
Yeah, close enough. I ain't moving to Reno.
No, me neither.
Reno's disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty
pretty bad.
It's the Akron of the West.
Akron, that's accurate. The Akron of the West. So yeah, we are in the Upside Down world. What's the Stranger Things? The Upside Down.
Yeah, that's Stranger Things.
We are in the Upside Down now.
Yeah, nothing makes sense. The rules don't apply.
Yeah,
screw
it.
Well,
whose line is it anyway? The points don't matter.
Points don't matter. All I can say is that I actually and I'm just gonna sound polarizing right now, but I don't care about the Rona. I'm gonna go out, live my daily life, book flights, travel. I don't give a shit. The numbers do not warrant the response that it has, and I don't care about the lockdown. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm slowly setting in the pit of madness and depression, and because I can't do anything, and fuck, I'm not gonna do that. There's gonna be a massive backlash because they're just starting to talk about it, and I'm surprised that in that stimulus plan there's not something about mental health.
Yeah, nothing. Isn't that weird?
I see myself as a very stalwart, stoic individual. I've gone through shit in my life. This isn't terrible, but like I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
The walls are getting a little closer, and I don't like it.
It's isolation. Like humans are social creatures.
Yeah.
You can't live this way.
I don't like it. And if me, someone that is, I would say, in perfect mental health that doesn't have any underlying problems, I would be the outlier compared to maybe the average population that has their intricacies and small little things, anxieties, and all these things. What's going to happen to them when they have to go through, over time, this is going to get worse and worse and worse. California might be not open until August.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that to bring us back here. California might not be opening till August, and maybe they'll relax some restrictions, but here's the main goal, in my opinion, is to stop people from having to pay rent. What that does is it garners the love of the people, but that being said, it absolutely fucks landowners. Like how are you going to make money off of your rental property when nobody's paying rent?
Big business bad, blah, 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 blah. My old apartment, which I fucking hated, was purchased by another company, and all they have is real estate holdings. That's how they make money.
Yeah.
Well, as much as you may think that the landowner is sucking up the workers' money, they pay taxes. They do a lot of things to support the economy.
Also, they didn't force anybody to pay rent. These are people who signed on a dotted line saying that they would pay this amount. It was a consensual transaction.
A legally binding contract. And
Yeah.
yes, this is an extraneous circumstance that doesn't happen until it does happen. We understand that. But hey, didn't you get cash? Are you getting unemployment? Maybe, I know you're not getting the greatest unemployment right now, Tom.
No, I'm getting none.
Many people in the state of Nevada, the systems aren't great, and a lot of people are left holding the bag. But these measures are meant so you can pay for the necessities. And paying rent, paying your mortgage, you promise that.
Yeah.
It's a promissory note.
I know you still have to pay your mortgage. You just don't have to pay rent.
Yeah, exactly. So these people that purchased, properties in the sense of using that, and you may think, oh, that's just sucking up people's money, and you shouldn't be able to have all these properties, and that's ruining. Well, how about the fact that foreign individuals are purchasing so much property? That's the real problem. Because if landowners were all in the U.S., that would contribute money into the same economy that we live in.
Yes.
And that would be beneficial for everybody in the long run to begin with. But now that people aren't paying landowners rent, and that, I doubt that, all these mortgage companies are gonna be like, oh yeah, don't pay your mortgage. Yeah. Us benevolent,
chill, man.
us benevolent central banks and lending companies, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, fuck you. No.
Yeah, they're not going to say that. And it's funny, you said that, and I think that you accurately described how most renters see, where they're renting from is this big, corporation,
Faceless,
evil,
yeah.
More money than they could think of. A lot of these, landowners are just individuals, private citizens who, use their, property to make some extra money.
Maybe they saved their entire fucking lives to have their retirement be a multitude of rental properties for them to have a retirement and for them to give their children as an inheritance. That they've worked tirelessly, worked their 40 years in their job, earned the money to create their own this is their pension. This is it. This is the retirement passive income for the rest of their lives. And then they don't get to do that now. And they're old. They're susceptible to the coronavirus.
Yeah, they can't go out and become essential workers.
They can't. Yeah, they can't work. They literally, for their safety, they cannot work.
Yeah. And let's say they're getting $1,200 a month, even that won't cover a lot of their mortgages, depending on what the property is, especially not in California.
And on the other side, they also signed the lease agreement that they will do certain things for the renter.
Mm-hmm.
I will do all maintenance, any legal things that happen, arbitration. Any accidents, insurance on an apartment complex must be hilarious.
Yeah.
Taxes, fees, regulations, state taxes, federal taxes, all these things. It ain't free to own something.
No.
Even I've noticed that owning this house, shit ain't fucking free. And I haven't paid enough, but shit ain't free, and I don't get to call nobody. Neither do they. So maybe will the contract change that renters have to pay for their maintenance? No.
No, definitely not.
But also, they don't have to pay rent.
Again, it's you're just slanting the playing field. It's just not. It's not feasible. It's everything with this whole lockdown. None of it makes sense, and none of it is sustainable over a long period of time.
No, and states are now doubling down, saying this needs to be longer.
Yeah, some are, but okay. Let's look at some of the stats here which aren't getting pointed out. Georgia, Texas, Florida, they all opened 1st of May. None of them have seen a significant rise in coronavirus cases.
No. I think Missouri's starting to do concerts.
Really?
That's going to be the hot spot for anybody that wants to see live entertainment.
Screw it.
Every comedian, music artist, fucking anything, they're going to start doing shit in Missouri.
Well, that's actually a really smart move, considering I'm sure tourism wasn't up.
in Missouri, that's not a very hot tourist destination.
But if they have concert,
and suddenly Beyonce's playing there, let's go. Let's go see Beyonce. Let's go.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, plus, I want to say the largest city close to Missouri is Chicago. A lot of people live in Chicago. Illinois is on a strict lockdown. A lot of them are probably going to book it
Hop
to
in my
Missouri.
car. Fuck it. Yeah.
And I know that Illinois probably has a law where it's well, if you leave the state, then you have to quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit.
Go ahead and track that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go. You're gonna put armed guards on the interstates. You're gonna start checking people. Yeah, good luck with that. Freedom of travel in the Constitution. There's going to be so many lawsuits out of this.
There are. And I think, in the Constitution, it's almost like they had this mentality, which I agree with. If you're going to make a law, you better be willing to enforce it with a gun. If you have all these laws, how are you going to enforce all of them with like police officers?
There's always the IRS, income tax, and if you don't pay it, we'll put you in fucking jail.
Yeah.
We will take everything from you. There's a consequence. So if you want to enforce the law, at the end of the day, at the highest part of the pyramid, there's going to be a consequence that they will use the executive branch, the execution branch, the ones that execute laws, the police, the larger agencies, to make sure it is done.
They will, but
that is a draconian.
we
shall use
the buzzword.
Hey!
Ding, ding, ding.
It's incredible that now the freedom of the states are going to be challenged by the union, but states are autonomous inside the contract of the social contract of having a union of states.
Yeah. So, and you are seeing. Thank you for mentioning that. In Wisconsin, there was actually Dirk Hagen, Wisconsin. Their Supreme Court, I think, because like their state assembly is held by Republicans, and they were able to pass like their Supreme Court, their state Supreme Court, said it was okay for taverns to reopen. So the governor steps in and says, "No, I don't like that. That's not cool." So he just shut it down.
So you subverted your state's judicial branch. Fantastic.
Like this situation has really showed the hands of a lot of authoritarians.
And as we all learned in our U.S. government classes, checks and balances of power is that in government, that they're the three legislative, judicial, and executive branches all have a way to one-up each other, to even each other out. Well, if this is just going to be an executive order by a governor, say no.
Yeah, I don't like it. No.
I don't like it. No, don't do that. That happened with Tesla. The state's executive branch said that they will open with these certain restrictions, blah, 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 and in there, manufacturing could open at 30%. So good old Elon says, well, fuck, we're going to do that. Let's do it. And then the county commissioner of Alameda County said no. Well, great.
It's a lot of people stepping on each other's feet.
Right. And then who do you follow? And then who will actually enact punitive damages against you? Who will send the police? Will the state marshals come to save you? Will there be a line of the state marshals and then the local Alameda PD, doing a Mexican standoff?
Yeah.
Who's going to protect whose rights?
No, the question of rights comes in here. I don't know. You might get your boogaloo.
I don't know. I don't want that. I like being able to buy things. I like being able to do things.
Yeah.
I don't want meat shortages. I don't want these things to happen. Now, I like a good, calm society that works.
Yeah. I mean, as do I, but from the look of things, it's like
it's looking real shit.
I just see a lot of panic inducing, and then from that panic inducement, you have people who are willing to sacrifice their freedom for security, and then you have people who are willing to feed off of that need for security just to further their own goals, and it's just this like terrible food chain.
David Thoreau, Ralph Waldo Emerson, self-reliance. Where did that go? Why can't somebody take matters into their own hands? Because that idea has been thrown right out the window. Everyone shall do this, and if you don't, you cannot.
Yeah, because I know better.
I know better. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, right?
Someone who the people elected. But we didn't elect you for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this, like, nobody elected you for this crisis. And I guess that goes into, okay, like, when you're a kid, you think that adults know everything.
Right.
And then you get...
as the authority, you subvert to them.
Yeah.
Because you don't know.
And then you get a little bit older, and then when you're, a teenager, young adult, you're like, hi, wait a second. Like, some adults don't know that much.
Right. You rebel against authority.
Yeah.
You carve your own path.
Yeah, you do. And then you start to become self-reliant. And then... if this were the meme of like the elevated streams of consciousness, then it would be like, people in positions of power actually don't know that much either.
Right, either. In fact, they know about as much as I do.
Yeah.
Well, shucks. What the fuck are they doing there?
Yeah, how come that guy gets to tell me what to fucking do?
It's the story of the pole tortoise.
The pole tortoise?
Yeah. If you see it, if you're inside the backwoods counties of the Midwest and you see a turtle on a pole or tortoise on a pole, here's a couple of facts. The tortoise didn't know how he got there, can't do anything while he's up there, was put there by someone else, and doesn't know how the fuck to get down. They're pole tortoises. They can't do anything. They're not supposed to be there. They can't do anything while they're up there. And some chucking asshole put them up there to begin with. And now these people are the ones that we look up to. They are the authority, the ones that will enact laws and do things. Ugh. Fuck. And now we have a real problem. This is a real fucking problem that everyone's having, and then now we have to subvert to these people. These people have the last laugh, the final say, and they're ruining lives. They're
ruining countless lives.
Yeah,
but in their own terminology, they're saving lives.
but it's good. Yeah, because everyone's optic of what they're doing is the best thing ever.
I am benevolent, and I have everyone's interests in mind.
Right. Except for everyone else's interests in mind.
Except for just your interests in mind.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, actually, demagogue news. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Like, terrible.
Shaberkaboo.
Freaking you.
Freaking
Oh man. So yeah, something. Yeah, Brunch Bang. Check us out Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook Live on either my or Steven's personal Facebook accounts.
Find us on Demagogue News Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Keep your head on that swivel.
Freaking